Okay, here's your chance to check your review worksheet for test 19 coming up tomorrow. If there's any of these problems you still don't understand after we go over them, you have got to make sure you email me and give me a phone number where I can call you and we can talk about them, okay? Okay, number one, probability of rolling an even number with one roll of a number cube. They want us to express it as a decimal. So there are 3 even numbers out of a total of 6 numbers. That gives us 1/2. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. First 7 test scores are shown below. What is the median? Now you have to know that median means the middle number when all the numbers are put in order from smallest to biggest. So I put them in order from smallest to biggest, and then I started taking off the lowest and the highest, lowest and highest, lowest and highest, and I was left with 90 in the middle. Now remember, if you're left with 2 numbers in the middle, you have to average them to find the median. So the median is 90. What percent of the circle is shaded? Well, I can see that 2/8 of the circle is shaded. That reduces to 1/4. 1 divided by 4 gives me 0.25, and then I change that to 25%. A pyramid has how many, with a square base, has how many edges? Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 along the square base, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 going up all the sides. Okay, so 8 total edges. What is the area of this triangle? Well, formula for area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. The base and the height have to make a right angle. Our base and our height are 12 and 9. 12 times 9, 108 divided by 2, 54 centimeters squared. Which of these describes the triangle? This is a right triangle. We don't know if it's isosceles. They don't give us, or actually we know that it's not isosceles because all the lengths are different, but scaling's not on here. It's not an acute triangle because we do have a right angle, makes it a right triangle. It's not equilateral. All the sides are not the same length. Number 7, order of operations. I have to do this exponent first. So I changed 2 squared into 4, rewrote everything. 2 plus 5 times 4 minus 4. Now I got to do the multiplication. 10 plus 5 times 4 is 20 minus 4. Now add and subtract from left to right. 10 and 20 make 30 minus 4. Final answer is 26. 1 and 1/2 squared. I don't multiply mixed numbers. I have to change it to an improper fraction. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 over 2. Squared means times itself. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. 9 over 4. Reduce it to 2 and 1/4. Solve this proportion. Okay, I can solve proportions using cross products. 6 times 10 has to be equal to W times 4. 60 has to be equal to W times 4. So W must be 15. Okay, side 2. Number 10. 4 squared minus the square root is 16. 4 squared is 16 minus square root 16 is 4. 16 minus 4 is 12. Now we could have multiplied this all out and then divided by 20, but I decided to break it up into factors and see if it could reduce. So 15 broke into 3 times 5. 16 is 4 times 4, and they're all being multiplied together. 20 broke into 4 times 5, so I reduced. 4 and 4 reduced to 1. 5 and 5 reduced to 1. So now I'm left with 3 times 1 times 4 times 1. On top, that's 12. On bottom, it's 1. 12 over 1 is the same thing as 12. Number 12. There's 2 ways you could have solved this one. What number is 5/8 of 56? You might have taken and made a diagram with 8 sections and blocked off 5 of them. 5 out of 8. 56 is our total. 56 divided by 8 is 7 in each space. 5 of those spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 7 is 35. Or you might have said 5/8 of is times 56 over 1. 8 and 56 reduce. 1 and 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Either way works. Number 13. We have to do what's in parentheses first, so I did 1.20 plus 0.37. and I got 1.57. So now I need to take that away from 6. So I said 6.00 minus 1.57, and my final result was 4.43, 4 and 43 hundredths. Number 14, 4 divided by 0.5. Some of you are still using the wrong one as your divisor. Say it out loud. 4 divided by 0.5. Whatever we say after divide by is our divisor. 4 divided by 0.5. I have a decimal in my divisor, so I'm going to multiply it by 100 to make it, or multiply it by 10 to make it a whole number. Bump. I do have to do the same thing inside. I got to add a decimal and a 0. Bump. My new division problem is 40 divided by 5. That answer is 8. Number 15. I had to get common denominators, so I chose 6. 6 and 2/3 becomes 6 and 4/6. 4 and 1/2 becomes 4 and 3/6. We're going to add all these together. So 3 plus 6 and 4/6 plus 4 and 3/6 gives me 13 and 7/6. This is improper. So the 7/6 becomes 1 and 1/6. I add it to my 13. Final answer is 14 and 1/6. Number 16. I had to get a common denominator, so I went to 12s. 3 and 1/3 becomes 3 and 4/12 minus 2 and 9/12. I can't take 9/12 away from 4/12, so I got to regroup. I got to change this 3 into 2 and 12/12. I'm going to combine it with the 4/12 I already have, and so now I have 2 and 16/12 minus 2 and 9/12. 16/12 minus 9/12 gives me 7/12. My 2 minus 2, I don't have any more whole numbers. The answer is 7/12. 1 and 4/5 divided by 3. I need them both to look like fractions, so I made this one improper. 9 over 5 divided by 3 over 1. Fraction divided by fraction really means fraction times reciprocal. 9/5 times 1 over 3. My 3 and my 9 will reduce. That's a 1. That's a 3. My final answer is 3 over 5. So to change a fraction to a percent, multiply by 100% first. So change 1/3. 1/3 times 100% over 1 gives me 100% over 3. 100% divided by 3 gives me 33 and 1/3%. Write 3 and 3/4 as a decimal. That becomes 3.75. And then add it to 1.5. 3.75 plus 1.5. Final answer is 5.25. If you forgot how to go from 3/4 to a decimal, remember 3/4 is 3 divided by 4. Okay? How many units is the perimeter of this rectangle? So I had to graph these points. -2, 2 is here. -2, -2 is here. 4, -2 is here. 4, 2 is here. So perimeter, I got to find out how long the side is and how long the width is. This is 6, this is 4. That means this is 6 and this is 4. 6 and 4 and 6 and 4 make 20 units. Okay, guys. I hope you did well. If you did not, make sure you go over the things that you missed. Make sure you know those procedures. Make sure you understand it. If not, you got to let me know. Have a great day. Bye.